Yes, good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also the president of United in Peace, Inc. We got some topics that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the vaccination and the importance of those getting vaccinated. I'm going to take time to show you where I did an interview of Cook County Board President, who's also the chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party, Toni Preckwinkle. But without further ado, before we get off into it, let me let you know that this show is made possible up under the direction of none other than the chairman of United in Peace, Inc. And that's none other than my wife, Terry Marsh Bradley. She's also the director and the producer of this show. She helped me to get the topics to present on this show. And all the technical wherewithal that's being done by none other than Omari. So, Brother Omari, let's go to work, man. While we're getting that together, y'all know my pet peeve is against that violence that's happening in the city. There's so much violence that's happening, and last week I shared with you where the governor is getting together 200, I think, $30 million within 3 years, where he has came out and say that since this violence is known as a health issue. I'm glad that the mayor was there, the county board president was there. So here we go. Let's go to work.
If you pick up that gun and you fire that gun, anyone that get harmed from you firing that gun, that's an innocent bystander. We asking the community, ostracize them, push them out, don't let them hide anywhere, don't support them, and let law enforcement do their job.
The code is this. If you pick up that gun to solve your problem, I'm not endorsing violence. I'm saying you're violating the code if you discharge that weapon. And innocent people get shot or killed, especially a child or an elderly person. And the community must uphold that code.
He got his shoe shined.
The reason that it worked in the 90s, because everyone was a part of it. Kids, women, elderly, was off limits.
You didn't touch him.
Didn't touch them.
Ostracized from the community, pushing you out of the community, not supporting you in the community or protecting you in the community, so that law enforcement can do their job by apprehending you. And the Cook County State's Attorney can do her job by making sure that you get a fair prosecution. This is so that there's no retaliation in the community because you discharge or you fire that weapon at your intended target.
We all got to come together. Those of you, my name is Wallace Gator Bradley. I'm the urban translator, and I'm the president of United Peace, Inc. We all got to come together to let it be known that Black lives matter everywhere. Regardless if a police shoot somebody that's black, it means twice as much to our community when someone black is shooting someone black.
With at least 8 children under the age of 10 shot in the city in just 2 weeks, Some are asking if that code still carries any weight.
This is something that we got to do.
Gator catches up with some friends on Calumet.
That 1-year-old that got killed.
His conversations of late have focused on kids getting shot. He says the rule still applies.
We as men got to put it down and say, that still exists. It never left.
We all got a responsibility.
We all got a responsibility, man.
But it never left.
I'm putting a call out to all the brothers. You know what we do. Put the word on the street that this is no longer tolerated. Me and Holmes work together and we know how it works. We've been able to help individuals turn themselves in of the community, kick them out, but law enforcement to come and arrest them. Now is the time. Just like it was the video from Miss Frazier to let everybody know about the awakening of George Floyd. Somebody got a video, or we need to use our video to stop this senseless violence.
And I believe that vengeance belongs to the Lord. And with that, I want to say, to God be the glory. And that's my story.
You know, as I said earlier into the show, senseless shootings and killings is destroying our city, our county, and the state. I had a chance to interview Cook County County Board President / Chairman of the Cook County Democratic Party, dealing with issues of violence and COVID. And this is what she had to say. Brother Omari, could you hit that, the piece up there where it says, yes, right there. Thank you, I appreciate you.
Very important day.
Could you start it right from the beginning?
For the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Yes, my name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm host of the Bradley Report. Today is a very important day. We at Local 134, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Union Hall, but this is a day where candidates from around Cook County are coming to this pre-slating. I was able to get the chairman to share with you, my viewing and listening audience, about the importance of vaccination and the importance of the election. But without further ado, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be on your program, Gator. And I just want to encourage all of our viewers to get vaccinated. You know, we run a public health system.
Right.
Half of our budget is public health. And it's really critical, if we're going to be safe in our neighborhoods, in our communities, that people are vaccinated to protect themselves, the people they love, and their communities. So if you haven't been vaccinated, it's not too late. You can go out and be vaccinated.
You know, one of the things that's important, I'm glad that God allowed me to become a senior citizen. And I'm glad that I'm over the age of 65.
Right.
And they've been talking about the booster shot. So could you share that with my viewing audience? Because it's very important that we get vaccinated. I've lost a lot of friends. I know you've lost a lot of friends.
Of course.
So, like you, for them not to get it from a third perspective, by you being the leader of the health system within Cook County, let them know the importance about the booster shot and what is happening.
Sure. So there are 3 shots: Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
And Pfizer has been approved as a booster, and it's been recommended for people who are immune compromised, people who have some challenges around their immune system. They could be undergoing chemotherapy, or they could have some chronic disease. The Moderna vaccine, we think, is about to be approved for a booster. So far, there's nothing on Johnson & Johnson. But if you got a Pfizer shot, and you're, particularly if you're a senior citizen like you and me, okay, you and I, we need to be sure that we get the booster, okay? And hopefully Moderna will be approved for a booster shortly. I think it's really critical, especially for people who are gray-haired, to do this.
Or bald-headed.
Or bald-headed.
Right.
Let me just say, you know, most of the people who have succumbed to the disease are senior citizens.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you, though, that I went in the last week to a service for the daughter of a friend who was 40 years old. So anybody, no matter what you're, and she had not been vaccinated, anybody, you know, can succumb to the disease, but it's particularly important for our seniors to be vaccinated.
You know, Madam Chairman, I know you running for re-election, and we're going to get into that. I just want my viewing audience to see what I know. You know, we pretty much raise one another in this political
Along
thing,
the way.
Along the way. And the thing that's very important is that they need to know how hard it is not just to be elected official, but to be seen as a leader, because you have the responsibilities. You got to take it from the ungrateful. You got to accept it for those that appreciate you. You know what I mean? So let them know about the wear and tear that's on you.
Well, you know, I always say if you're going to be an elected official in a democracy, you have to beg, wheedle, cajole, apologize for things you didn't do, and try to work with people you can't stand. And that's a challenge.
Right. You know, one of the things that I like the way you co-mingle with the different levels of government, be it federal, be it county, be it municipalities, you know, and the state. I came to you about the importance of the Nursing Home Care Act, and you worked with
Brandon Johnson. Commissioner Brandon Johnson.
Commissioner Brandon Johnson. And you took up the concerns, and I learned a lot about Medicare and everything else because you showed me the boundaries of the different levels of government. And you and Brandon and the rest of the commissioners came together and you pushed that resolution of Save Our Seniors, you know. And then I was able to speak before Illinois State House Joint Committee that's dealing with reforming the nursing home industry.
Right.
And I was allowed to read the proclamation.
And the proclamation.
Into the record. Now, share with the people the things that you have done and why you're running for re-election to be the president.
Sure. Well, when I was first elected in 2010, I said I'm going to try to work to improve access to health care and the quality of health care we deliver in our public health system and improve our criminal justice system. Now, we provide health care to anybody who comes to our door, and we have for 180 years. So it means if you don't have insurance or you're underinsured, we provide care for you. And many of our not-for-profit hospitals or our for-profit institutions don't do that, can't say it.
Right.
And we've done it for 180 years. And I'm very grateful for the leadership now of Israel Rocha, who's our new Chief Executive Officer. I'm very proud of him, and I think we're going to continue to make progress in terms of access and in terms of quality of the care we deliver. You and I have worked hard on criminal justice for a long time. For a long time. And we've seen a dramatic reduction in the jail population. You know, in this country, if you had cash and you were given a bond, you could go free. And if you were poor and couldn't pay that bond, you stayed in jail. And our jail, when I was elected, had 11,000 people in it.
Correct.
And now has 5,700. And that's because people who are accused of low-level, nonviolent crimes, drug offenses, shoplifting, not paying your child support, traffic offenses, are things people used to wait in jail from their arrest or trial because they couldn't pay $100, $500, $1,000 bond. And of course, anybody who had money could do that and would be out, right?
Right.
So we have reduced reliance on cash bond and reduced the jail population by being sure that people accused of low-level, non-violent crimes don't wait the time from their arrest to their trial in jail. And I think that's real progress. And you know, and I know, that really impacts the black community because disproportionately we're the people in the jail.
Right. But you know something that my viewing audience wasn't aware? Every year you have this budget hearing.
Right.
And those individuals that you were talking about, It used to be over 1,100.
Right. 11,000.
11,000, I'm sorry. Over 11,000. Your viewing audience need to know the money that was being spent just to house those individuals that should have been out on the street because if they was able to pay their bond, they would be out. That was putting a dent within the budget, and that's why I'm glad that you were able to pass the various budgets since the time that you've been there, where you didn't have to put the weight on the taxpayers.
It's very expensive. It costs $162 a day to keep somebody in the jail. So if you think about it, if somebody's poor and they can't pay their bond, in a week it's cost you more to house them than their bond was.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
$162 a day, that's almost $200 a day, you know? So anyway, we have tried to reduce the size of the jail complex. We've torn down 2 divisions, and this year we're going to demolish 2 more. So we're reducing the size of the jail campus, and as I said, we're giving people who don't have a lot of money an opportunity, just as rich people have, to be out and to go to school, go to work, be with their families until their cases come up in court.
Okay, and one last statement and one last question. The statement. I was talking with the chief of Hazelcrest
Police Department,
Mitchell Davis, and he's just been elected to be over all the district police for the whole state.
Okay.
He had heard me.
There's a chief of police association.
Correct.
Right.
We were talking about solutions for people to become a part of supporting the code to help bring down the violence. And the code is zero tolerance for senseless violence, shootings and killings, the abuse and the rape of women and children, the abuse and the robbery of seniors. So with that being said, I made mention to him that I was going to talk to you about it because he's trying to set a meeting up.
Right.
I told him that I would ask you if I ever get the chance for you to help make a public statement that you was in support of zero tolerance.
Of course. You know, here's the thing, and I think this is how things have changed more recently in the last several years. There was a time when folks on the street, you know, would not go after old people.
Right.
They wouldn't go after family members. They had a beef with you. It's with you, not your mother, not your kids. You know, not your girlfriend. It's you, right? And that's changed. And what we've seen not only is a massive increase in shootings, but the age of people who've gotten shot. Lots of kids that have been shot and killed. It's heartbreaking, you know. Every life is precious, but particularly to see so many of our children attacked, it's just, it's very disturbing.
Right. One of the things I know in the 90s, that I'm talking about now, we got to put that back out there where individuals can see that there's nowhere for them to hide, because we're not pointing the fingers or the blame. We all side with the same thing. We all in sync, law enforcement, spiritual leaders, and all of that. I just want to say I appreciate you. I've learned so much. I've grown so much. It's almost like we've been tied at the hip of evolution to what's better.
Well,
you know, the wonderful thing about technology being what it is, we can now bring people the news that they can use. There's something else that's key. Brother Omari, there's a piece up there that says Gator goes to get vaccinated. Could you play that piece for me? To show individuals that I walk it like I talk it. Okay? We're hearing how people don't want to get vaccinated. They're turned down $9 million in contracts. But you got to do your part, like I'm doing my part. If you're a senior citizen, you got to go and get your booster shot.
It's very important that everyone gets vaccinated. Wallace Gator Bradley, I'm the
president of United in Peace, Inc. I'm also the host of the Bradley Report. And what's very important, I'm a senior citizen, a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, and African American. And I'm saying this is more than just my opinion. I'm saying it's important to get vaccinated, to help save someone next to you, especially to help save yourself.
The governor today signed a very serious bill. And I want you to check this out before I run out of time. And it's where he had to change the law to make it where individuals can use certain exemptions in order to not get vaccinated. Brother Omari, could you there's a piece
Another
up
busy
there.
night in Springfield
That's it
leads
right
to
there.
many new
That's
legislative
it right there.
changes.
Thank you, sir.
Illinois has a new congressional map, and a new law will soon prevent people from avoiding COVID-19 vaccination mandates in the workplace. MC5's Sandra Torres joining us now live to break all of this down for us this morning. Sandra?
That's right, Michelle. Very important information to know. It was another late night with emotional debates going past midnight. The state Senate voted 31-24 to approve changes to the Healthcare Right of Conscience Act. What is that? Well, it's a law that's decades old. It was originally implemented to protect healthcare providers who refuse to perform medical procedures such as abortions to moral or religious beliefs. But the Democratic legislators argued the act was being misused by some to refuse to comply with COVID-19 vaccination mandates. So the change yesterday makes it clear that public officials and private companies can impose those pandemic requirements as conditions of employment. Now it goes to Governor Pritzker. Also, as of last night, we have a new congressional map in Illinois, at least for the next decade. The map will pit two Chicagoland Democrats against one another in a primary. Maureen Newman's Southwest Side seat has been merged with Jesus Chuy Garcia's West Side district. Garcia would be a heavy favorite in the over 60% Latino district, and state senators approved that Thursday night. The House voted just before 1 o'clock this morning to send it to Governor Pritzker's desk. And with that, the fall veto session has adjourned, and the Illinois legislature will be back in session on January 4th.
You know, we got to be concerned about the importance of the elections. We got to be concerned about elected officials that's accepting their responsibility and accountability. It's hard to be an elected leader, be the mayor, be the governor, be the president, be the county board president, when it comes to making the right choices for the betterment of our concerns. Okay? One of the things that I want to make mention is when I see Ice Cube make the decision that he didn't want to get vaccinated in order to do a show or a program or something to that effect, but it was where he turned down a $9 million payday because he didn't want to show it whether or not he was vaccinated. But the truth of the matter is this: he wears his mask in the public. Then what you see with a football player from the Cheeseheads, Wisconsin, Rogers, made a move where he said he got vaccinated, but he wasn't vaccinated. He caught the COVID virus. He couldn't play football. He had to quarantine himself for 14 days. Well, that cost the NAACP a lot of money. It cost him a lot of money. And they're worried about that. But one of the things before I close out this show, I want to let everybody know that it's very important that you get out and vote. Don't choke, vote. If you got to wear your mask, or if they change the rules and say you can't come vote without being vaccinated, have your vaccination card. You know what I mean? Or stay at home if you're in quarantine, but vote. And with that, I want to say this, Brother Amari, could you show this last piece where Toni Preckwinkle is
as the crisis sweeps
showing
the nation.
why she's running. There you go.
Cook County Board President Toni Preckwinkle rolled out efforts rolling out a financial relief package to help local businesses.
Preckwinkle announces a new program to get immediate financial help,
launching the Cash Assistance Program.
Preckwinkle and the county health department's top doctors outlined a plan to begin COVID-19 vaccinations.
Cook County celebrated the opening of its new outpatient facility,
allocating $100 million for racial and economic equity initiatives.
Preckwinkle is promoting a plan to create affordable housing and stop people from losing their homes.
I want to say, Toni say, be for Toni in 22. And I want to say, Toni, I'm with you. And with that, I want to say, please get vaccinated, get registered to vote, wear your mask, and if you're a senior citizen, go get your booster shot. I want to say I'm glad that they got the shots or the vaccination stuff for the children. And with that, I want to say, to God be the glory, to my listening audience and my viewing audience. And that's my story.